Welcome to Ram and Goat Astrology. Join Helena and me, Laura Lee, each week as we take you on an explorative journey of astrology and health, reading charts, talking planetary energies, while educating and entertaining you. We help you navigate the mysteries of the stars and how they affect you personally. Here we go. Yay, recording in progress. Hello, welcome to Ram and Goat Astrology.
Hello. I'm back. It's been a while.
It has. And you're feeling well?
Yeah, I'm feeling
You
a lot
sound
better.
really good now.
Yeah. I feel good. I've had like a dramatic past couple of weeks, health-wise, actually. I mean, today we have a health practitioner on the podcast, so that seems very fitting. But I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah. And we have Heather.
Heather Gray. Welcome, Heather Gray.
Yeah.
So Ram and Goat, I take it, Helena, you're a Capricorn?
Yeah, I am. I have my moon and my ascendant is also Capricorn.
Gotcha.
Double Capricorn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what have you come to learn? I just find like when you have the double stuff, like I'm a double Libra, and this whole things have to be fair and just is like biting me in the ass over and over and over and over and over and over again, because I just don't understand why it can't be fair.
And business contracts, Libra is all about contracts and legal stuff and business partnerships. I know, I'm sorry.
It is actually, that's funny. It's a lot about legal stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't had much legal stuff in my, well, I guess I take that back. I've had 2 lawsuits that I've put on people, and won, which is probably more than a lot of people. And then now I'm like in another fight right now. So maybe, yeah, there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
They just don't realize who they're messing with. Like, I'm the
No,
first.
you look ready.
I make a mistake, I will admit it and gladly back down. But if I am not in the fault, I will. I'm coming for you.
Watch out. Watch out. There's a fireball coming your way. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up Heather's chart because I think it's such a fun chart.
Well, do you want to just introduce yourself, Heather? Sort of what you do and who you are? Except
go ahead
you have
and tell us what you got going.
Libra.
Yeah, so I am the Lyme Boss, and I help frustrated professionals who have tried everything to address their embarrassing digestive issues, horrible brain fog, and chronic widespread pain. Could it be Lyme? It was for me, and I help people get to the root cause of their symptoms so they can get back to living an energetic, joy-filled life. So after 27 years of undiagnosed Lyme, 3 autoimmune diseases, 2 stints in the psych ward for suicide attempts, multiple chronic pain, like decades and decades worth of really heavy illness, I've managed to turn my health around, and now I help others do the same.
That's horrible, and also that's great that you're doing that now. What are like some of the standouts for Lyme?
Pain that migrates. So it gets like lumped into chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. So a lot of those get misdiagnosed. It should be diagnosed Lyme, a lot of MS symptoms. So it's called the great imitator because it's a spiral shaped bacteria that can invade any tissue, any organ, any system in your body and start shutting things down. And so it'll show up differently in everybody, because it's depending on what your weak link, in your genes are, is kind of what it affects the most. But there are some, like as I said, some similarities, some chronic widespread pain, digestive issues, brain inflammation, so depression, anxiety type of stuff.
Is that how it showed up for you?
Yeah, it first showed up for me, like I said, when I was bit when I was 13, and went to the psych ward the first time for a suicide attempt when I was 15. And so it really affected my gut and my brain, and my knee, my joints. Like I had Lyme knee, my knee would swell up to like 3 times its size, no rhyme or reason. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. All my labs looked normal, right?
Right, because they weren't testing for the right thing.
Yeah, correct, absolutely.
Yeah. You and I have such a similar story. Mine did not end up being Lyme, but just not getting the right answers, right? My health search for decades, looking for the right answers and the right practitioners to give me the right answers. And Heather has been amazing with helping me with the next generation, with my children. And we just got my son tested, who's 13, which is when I started seeing symptoms of all of my issues, right around when my cycle started and right after a school vaccine for meningitis. That was the like on button for my issues, right? And of course, it happened to coincide with puberty, which is always fantastic. So Heather's been helping us with my son, and we just got his genetic panel done and tested pretty much everything that comes out of him. And he was showing tons of symptoms for other things like estrogen dominance and testosterone deficiency, which that's not the issue at all. He actually had massive gut health imbalances that were the symptoms were showing up in other ways. So throwing random darts at the wall was not helping anything. And now we got the actual genetic and gut health and all of the answers, like this is what it is. And now we have the steps to move forward, and it's been so empowering. And I think that's where going through the crap that you've gone through, going through the crap I've gone through, like we know you need the right answers. You need the right answers. And I think astrology is cool like that too, because it helps us, gives us the answers. You've got 3 planets in your 6th house in your natal chart. That just leads to health stuff. Like that's the house of health and the body. So I would be shocked if you had gone through this life thus far and not had health issues, really, honestly.
Yeah.
And because they're all in Aries, that's fire, that's inflammation, that's heat. Right. So like that makes so much sense that you've had these issues and these experiences.
That was the first thing I saw as well. I knew you were a health practitioner before I looked at the chart, but straight away I was looking for the 6th house, and I saw your sun is there. And whatever house the sun is in, it really makes that a house of like a focus point in the chart. So like health in your day-to-day life is really, really a big, huge part of your life.
Yeah. Your sun is there, which is your willpower and your vitality. And then you got Venus, which is how you form relationships and how you bring in money. And then Mercury is how you think and how you communicate. So like your brain is constantly on this being of service and helping people with health and managing your own health as well.
Absolutely.
Keeping that heat under control.
Yeah, I came up with a meme not so long ago, a really good expression that, you know, my self-care feels like a part-time job, but it's better than being full-time sick. Right?
Oh, that's great.
Right. And it is so kind of sums up what you're just saying about me. Like, I don't fight this or look at it like a burden or, oh my God, all the things that I have to do. I actually get up and be like, ooh, all the things I get to do, because it makes me feel good. Like it keeps me operating at a level that I didn't even know was possible. So I bless it. And, you know, really, I am like non-negotiable when it comes to my self-care, because I know what happens if it doesn't. And I love it. I just love it.
You're speaking my love language. I love it. I really wish more people would understand this concept of putting daily care into your health on the regular is really so much better than living in chronic pain and just fighting it. You know, I feel like we live in a society that fights health on the regular, and it's so frustrating.
Yes. And always going just to put like these band-aids on the problem instead of seeing, I guess, like searching for the answer.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think because at least in Sweden, most hospitals are state-owned. So there's no money and no time to dig in and search for the answers. So you just get these band-aids instead. And then you keep going back because you don't know what the problem is if you don't try and look for it yourself, of course. But
when I look at your chart, also you've got Virgo in the 11th house, which is the sign that rules health, and the 11th house is putting yourself out there in humanitarian efforts and making the world a better place and being unique and weird and eccentric. And you have specialized yourself in Lyme and mold, and I think that is such a unique, eccentric area. and such a necessary area, and it's very specific, right? And Virgo is such a
Interesting.
very specific sign. So I think that's really a perfect placement for you, is to have this kind of strange specialty that you have, because there's not enough people doing it. That's for sure. Do you know how many Lyme people there are, Lyme practitioners there are in the country?
I haven't done a number, but I mean, even the people who are putting themselves out there like I am, like it's a handful. It's a small world, and I don't play politics really well, and I'm having to learn like real fast on how to play nice with the other folks in the Lyme world, because it's just too small of a playground.
Yeah, you're a big personality, and you don't do politics well, no.
But that makes me look at your Libra placements, because you have your ascendant in Libra, you're a Libra rising. You also have Pluto, which is the planet of destruction, transformation, but it could be a very difficult. It can be difficult, but it brings magical things, but it can be tough, and
it can bring creative change over time. But typically there's some destruction first.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating, and just hard. You also have your moon in Libra, and your moon is how what you need, and sort of how you react, and all those things, and also your North Node. So there's a lot of Libra placements, and Libra is, you said you don't play politics nice or well. And
I imagine with Pluto and Libra, I don't feel like I play politics well either. And I have a Pluto Libra placement. And really,
that's what you hit to learn.
So
yeah,
that's such a Pluto Libra thing to have happen.
Yeah, that's definitely Pluto. Like Pluto brings really just these really tough obstacles.
Yeah.
That feels terrible at the time.
It does. And I'm looking at Chiron right now. Chiron's at 11 degrees Aries in your 6th house, transiting your 6th house. And he's pretty darn close to this 9-degree moon you have in Libra. So we've got an opposition of Chiron and moon. So this is this wounded healer of taking this energy of Aries and really being brave and fearless and figuring out ways to heal this and fix this, right? That's what Chiron is all about. And it's going to trigger you emotionally big time. Big time.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is a healing opportunity too. But it's like when you break your leg, you're like, but I'm stuck on the couch for 6 weeks. And so it sucks, but you'll learn something by being on that couch for 6 weeks. So I'm looking at your chart right now, and now transiting planets, there's 4 of them in your 3rd house of communication. And it's all in Capricorn. All of it's in Capricorn. And so you are here to work hard to communicate justice and fairness and equality. Like that's what you're going to do right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also scanning the chart looking for something, and you have Saturn in the 10th house. The 10th house is your sort of career house, your work house, and Saturn brings also these challenges. So that is also an indicator of these things. I don't know if you probably have had not maybe this, but similar things happen before, like obstacles when it comes to work, because there's a lesson there that wants to be learned. And I'm not sure exactly how you need to learn it, but it's there for a reason. Only because you know all of you.
Well, and it's in Leo too, and we've got a pride with Leo, and we've got being seen and
bravery.
But I've been fighting like this my whole life. So is the lesson that I'm supposed to stop fighting? Am I just supposed to just let this shit happen?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. But maybe it's something to do with, you say you don't play politics well. Maybe there's something there, because I hear something in your voice that it's like maybe resent or something. I don't know. Like maybe it's And that could have been also something with your friends growing up. Maybe you had that in.
I think it's a past
group
life thing
settings.
with your North
12th
Node,
house.
Moon, and Pluto all in the 12th house. This is either from your lineage, your parents, or your own past life. Like you have come here with your moon in the 12th house, and Helena and I actually both have our moons in the 12th house. And the moon is how you represent, or how you viewed your mother. And when it's in the 12th house, it was this energy that was really not allowed to kind of come out of you as well. So you had a lot of like tipping back and forth in your childhood, emotional tipping back and forth of the scales. One way we're this way, one day we're this way. And like the emotions were just kind of all over. And it's conjunct Pluto. So when your moon is conjunct Pluto, you are just going through these deep emotional transformations when it comes to justice and harmony. Like
And you will feel it intensely.
That is Libra. This is deep within you. This is generational. This is past life. This is a part of you. And I know we've done a reading before. I was doing a reading for Heather, and I got some downloads coming through. Some, I don't know, we call them psychic stuff. I don't know what words to give it. But in a past life, there was financial issues that came through where there was a suicide and over financial stuff. So that's such a Pluto in the 12th house thing to have happen. And that energy is definitely still resonating. But I also see when you have
it's
Saturn.
gotten better since you told me that and have made me aware of it. Like, because I told Laura, like, I haven't told anybody ever that I still think sometimes that I would be better out if I checked out and wasn't such a financial burden on people.
Right.
But since she brought this to my attention, like I'm like, I now see you, right? The story doesn't have as much energy. I'm like, okay, I see you and I know where it comes from. And so I put it over there in the corner where it belongs. And it's just a little dull roar instead of a loud knocking, which is great.
Yeah. But then when you have Neptune in the second house, you're going to feel this intuition and this energy from that realm, right? The untouched realm or the untouchable realm around money and finances. You're going to feel other people's issues with finances. You're going to feel other people's instability and want to help them. That Neptune in the second house really provides this like psychic intuitiveness within you when it comes to money and stability and structure. And it's connected.
A weird thing too, because like, so a lot of the clients that come to me with financial issues because they've been chronically sick for a long time and they've already thrown tens of thousands of dollars at this. So by the time they come to me, they're broke. And I've seen myself contort my prices to help them. And then like 4 or 5 months later, I'm watching them on vacation. I haven't had a vacation in 2 years. I haven't had clothes in 2 years. Like, you know, so it's caused a little resentment of like, wait, I massively discounted myself because of your sob story. And now you're on vacation. Like, so it's actually kind of made me a little bit more, I wouldn't say a hard ass, but like, I'm really valuing, this is my time. This is
boundaries.
This is what it costs. And I'm sorry if you, like, I had to move mountains to get better. I had to file bankruptcy in the past. I've had to have GoFundMes. I did whatever it took to pay for what I needed to get better. And I have to just leave that on their court and stop trying to figure it out for them.
For sure. You absolutely, that is part of this lesson because Neptune is talking to Saturn in that 10th house. Boundaries. Yeah. Because you feel them, you feel that energy. And then you're like, okay, I'll, like you said, I'll adjust myself for you. And then the respect isn't there, right? The respect for what you did for them isn't there. And that's that Saturn lesson of boundary setting. And it sucks. And then of course your Libra placements too are all about boundaries.
I'm looking at another thing now.
What you see?
I see Chiron and what you said about that you felt like it's better off for other people if you just check out. It's better. Other people are better off. So you feel like is that the main thing that you feel like a burden for other people? Yeah. Because you have Chiron, which is the wounded healer in your also the house of relationship. So that tells me also that that it could be hard with the balance. So what I hear is that you don't value yourself as highly as you value the other in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And Chiron is also in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus also rules finances.
And loyalty.
Yeah, and loyalty. So you have this wounded healer in a sign of pretty much money and security and safety, how you feel safe. You know, if you own a house, like all of those safe feelings that you have your ground, you know, I can be here, this is my space, my house, and I have paid for it. So it's in Taurus and also in the house of relationships. So that tells me that you have trouble there with the balance of, you want to give safety and security to the partner, but you need the balance to give it to yourself also. First you need to give it to yourself, and it should be equal.
Yeah.
And to find a way to a balance with the values there.
That's a tough placement. Chiron in the 7th house. That's not just relationship, that's business contracts. That's partnerships. That's business stuff.
Issue really quick, but keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. So, you know, Chiron is something that we do heal eventually, but it takes time, you know, especially Taurus. A Taurus Chiron, this whole generation of Taurus Chiron people, I'm in there, my husband's in there. It's slow, and the pain is something that builds and builds and builds over time. So, you know, Taurus is the bull, and the bull can withstand quite a bit of pain until suddenly they just don't anymore. Yeah. And so that slow buildup of pain really, really takes this Chiron and Taurus generation a long time to make these changes. And we typically have to learn a lot of lessons before that healing really kicks in. And for you, it definitely is stability, finances, structure, and loyalty. Absolutely. And it's talking in a lovely conversation, a sextile, a lovely conversation to Jupiter. So Jupiter's like, hey, Chiron, let me help you. But Jupiter's in the 8th house. So Jupiter's all like, hey, let me help you by transforming the shit out of you.
Yeah, let's go deep. Let's go deep. And also let's involve Saturn.
Yep. So you have this like awesome ability to go deep and work hard to heal. It just hurts. It's painful. It's very painful, for sure.
I suppose I shouldn't say that. So as soon as this is coming out of my mouth, I get it. Like, I have overcome a lot of my health issues. I have overcome a lot of my relationship issues, because I'm married now to an amazing human being who sees me in a way that I've never been seen before in my life. I guess this last little piece is really the financial shit. And it's like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's to the point where every 2 weeks, I wonder if we're going to have grocery money. Like, that is just a shitty place to be. And I've been in it for years. And, you know, I don't own a house. I don't own my car. Like, there's nothing. There is no stability. And I'm just kind of coming to the end of being exhausted with all that. Like, you can only be in that for so long before I'm just like, fuck, like, I give up.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to throw my hands in the air and go, I give up.
Yeah. And Mars has been retrograding through your 8th house, which we talked about before. So he's went through your 8th house in Gemini, came back. Now he's retrograding in there, and now he's going to go back over. And 8th house is transformation and legal issues and other people's money. And that's a tough placement for Mars to be hanging out back and forth as you go through this shit. Like, that's the energy you're going through right now. And it's Gemini, so it's wishy-washy, it's changeable. One day you're fine, 1 week you're not, 1 week you're fine, 1 week you're not, and you're like, Jesus, fuck this shit.
Jesus, fuck this shit.
Jesus, fuck this shit.
Can I quote you on that?
Yes, because that's the energy of the changeability. Like you said, every 2 weeks something changes. That Gemini is tough like that. It is a quick changing, can't make up its mind energy. And it happens to be your 8th house of other people's money, legal issues, inheritances, taxes, all that stuff, rebirth and renewal. And you are like constantly rebirthing and renewing this last year for sure.
Yeah.
I made so much this last year. I look back on everything I have built. It's ridiculous. Now
Well
I
done.
hope and pray that some of these seeds sprout. Like there's like no, there's got to be no way that it can't. Like I really have worked too hard and have built too much this last year.
It will.
Mhm.
It will. It's coming because now, when is it, Helena? January, I want to say 19th, Mars moves back forward.
Oh, was
It's
it?
coming
I
up.
actually don't remember I don't remember the date. But
Mercury's
I
going
mean,
to go
it's a
retrograde.
transit, so it will. It is going. It's going. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And the same with. I mean, are you aware that you have very recently, or maybe now, having a Uranus opposite to Uranus?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah, you are.
So maybe you guys didn't talk about that because you had a
Oh, it's
reading before.
exact. It's exact.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well,
It's a
let's
huge
talk about
thing.
that, shall we?
It's a huge thing, which might be, I think it should be a relief for you because this happens once in your life.
So Uranus in your natal chart is at 15 degrees Scorpio in your first house. And Uranus in the sky currently is at 15 degrees Taurus in your seventh house. So Uranus is your planet of independence and freedom and being your unique, eccentric self and putting yourself out there in the way you want. And when you have Uranus opposite to Uranus in the sky, you have this kind of push and pull energy of, and for you, it's your first house and your seventh house. So it's I am versus we are. And so it's the I versus the we. And it's really a big mental health crisis is what it is. It's a huge transition. I actually have a note right here. It
rules your nervous system.
This is when things start to blow up and many people have mental health breaks. That's literally a sticky note on my wall. Like, so this is an energy. I'm going to be experiencing this in 2 years. I actually have the dates written down, and I've told my husband I'm probably going to just like leave for a couple of weeks because of this energy. But this is your nervous system. It's electricity, it's lightning, it's sudden changes and shifts. So sudden shifting with your business contracts makes total sense. Sudden chaotic environment out of nowhere, now you can't get into your portal, that makes so much sense. It sucks. It's there for a reason, for a big transformation, but it sucks to be in it. So let's just like honor that for a moment.
Yeah, I see Uranus like a volcano. Like you hear the rumbling, like, and then sometimes it erupts. And when it's in this position, it erupts and erupts. And like you said, there will be sudden changes that will come out of nowhere and shake your core.
Yeah,
pretty much. And that's not easy at all. But we also have the North Node still conjunct to Uranus, which brings a very, very karmic lesson and flavor to what's going on in your life now, to all of these changes happening. So, I mean, yes, it's a lot right now. But once it settles, I think that you're going to start seeing like these seeds that you were talking about. I think you will start seeing them sprout.
Yeah.
When she did my last chart, she did tell me that, I mean, she's been telling me this for the last 6 months, that I was in the middle of a death and rebirth cycle. And that I had some dates. So things are actually start shifting right before my birthday in March. And then really start to pick up even more in May, and then like pop huge this time next year.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing that's kind of kept me from losing all total faith, is that there was a little bit of light, and I didn't have to endure
there is
longer.
There is. You have Jupiter coming to your sun.
Right. I just want to honor that. Like, that's what astrology does for me, is when I'm stuck in the shit of life, right? Like in the shit. Yeah. I look at astrology and go, okay, this is not going to last forever. I can do it for the next 3 months, right? As long as I know there's a relief point. I feel like being pregnant, right? Like, I'm 24 weeks today. I'm getting the crap kicked out of me by this Kung Fu panda inside of me. And I'm like, okay,
I was baby.
Right? Aries baby conjunct Jupiter. So I'm at the store yesterday with my son. We're doing some Christmas shopping, and I'm in the aisle looking at whatever for my girls, and I feel like I got karate chopped on my cervix. And I was like, oh. And my son's like, what's happening? I was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But my brain's like, okay, 16 weeks, we can do 16 weeks, right? Like I have to walk myself mentally through that, because it is a hard thing for my body to be pregnant. Some people handle it like it's a piece of cake. I don't know how. But they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm pregnant 10 times." Well, good for you, because this sucks. Like I don't like being actually pregnant. The weight, the everything, it's very, very hard for me, and it's very mentally challenging, and I have to walk myself through it. And I feel like you're pregnant in a way, right? You're pregnant with this big transformation, especially with Mars in your 8th house. Like you are planting seeds of renewal. Absolutely. It's just that it's winter and seeds don't germinate well. You planted like winter wheat, and now you have to get through the winter before the wheat shows up in spring, right? And you can't get mad that it's winter. You have to just be okay that it's winter and be in the energy of that. And that's why I love astrology. You're okay. Are you in a hard transit? Yeah, you're in several hard transits. Yep. Are you going to get through it? Yep, you are. It's just going to be some time. But yeah, right around your birthday, girl, good stuff is coming for sure.
I don't see what's up there.
In the past, it feels, when it's, because you said I feel it, it feels so heavy, like there is not ever going to get better. And that's why I go to those dark places. So no, this has been an absolute gift. I tell you over and over, Laura, what a huge gift you've been in my life, because it has what's given me the strength to continue to go on, instead of just say, well, I guess pull what I did in my past life, and just that cycle. So
yeah, Uranus in Scorpio in the 1st house. That is the pressure of how gemstones are made, right? Scorpio is deep under the ocean, like kind of the Mariana Trench kind of energy, right? It's really deep in the ocean. And that pressure is really hard to sustain, right? Humans make these big, huge metal contraptions that we go into because the pressure is so intense in order to go explore the oceans. And that is where you're at. You are in this really deep Uranus scorpionic transformation, and damn, that pressure is intense. It really is. Like, just honor that. Don't try and change it. Don't try and like fight it. Just be like, yep, I'm turning into a freaking crystal here. Woohoo!
Yeah, good diamond,
right?
But I was gonna say, with the you have three placements in the 12th house, and like you said, Laura, the 12th house is about past lives. And I mean, some of us can remember past lives, some of us can sense them, and all of us, if we have past life things, they affect us, even if we don't know about it or think about it. But you also have that. I also have Pluto and the moon in my 12th house, and so there are a lot of things that will work its way through you during your life, that you will be able to change. You will be able to change that story. And I don't know if it's a good idea to maybe go like to try and get deep there and connect with those things to see. I mean, you already did, right? With Laura, was that intentional to go in and see a past life, or did it just happen?
It just happened during a reading.
Yeah. So maybe more of that, but intentional, if you're up for it, to
like past life regressions.
Yeah, to just be curious.
I can't believe I haven't done that before. Like, that was such a freaking relief and an understanding of, like, because my poor husband, he's like, every day he's like trying to talk me off a ledge because I'm worried literally about being homeless and starving to death. And he's like, you are insane. Why do you take it to such a level? And like I said, when she explained this to me, it was,
you've lived this.
I was like, oh my God, exactly. That's why I take it to this level, because this is some still energetic crap that's holding on that I haven't been able to let go of, that's still subconsciously running the show, right?
You feel it like life or death for you. It really feels like that.
Absolutely 100% over and over and over again. So yeah, I would love to do more past life stuff. I would love to. find out where some of this stuff is still, like I said, running the show, and dig it up and bury it for good.
Yeah, we definitely need to hook her up with Mary Louise and have her do an Akashic Records reading too. We had my friend Mary Louise on the show, and she visits the Akashic Records and helps with that. And I think that would be really helpful for you too. I think with Chiron opposite, he's like right in between your moon and Pluto right now, opposite in Aries in your health. So again, health is not just physical, right? It's a mental health. Well, you and I both know that big time, and how much your physical health can affect your mental health. And your moon is emotions, and Pluto is just this intense feeling of life or death, like how Helena said, and that deep transformation. So when you do feel these emotions, they are very deep and visceral. Like you really can't describe them well because they're so profound and so intense. And then there, of course, in this 12th house, is watery Pisces house that is all about healing and helping others. And that's all you want to do is like put yourself out and help others and heal others. And in turn, that's lovely because it does help you find answers to help heal yourself. But I think past life regressions would be really beneficial for you in the next year or so. I really see that being a major benefit for you to understand, especially with Pluto in a sextile to Neptune. So we've got the planet of past lives and spiritual connection talking in a very nice conversation here to Pluto in your house of past lives and spiritual connections. So you have this gift to access it really easily. And it does pertain to your structure and foundation and money. Absolutely. And your stability, because it's second house energy. So you are definitely missing some puzzle pieces from the past that are super affecting you in this life, for sure.
I feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, if you were all right with this, Heather, I wanted to jump in before we run out of time and pull up your solar return chart. So this is for in March when your sun comes back onto your sun sign, and see what kind of energy we have coming up in the new year for you. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, so I went ahead and pulled this up earlier. So you've got a lot of interesting energy shift. Now, we just had your natal chart up, and this doesn't look anything like your natal chart, does it? So this year you will be a Virgo rising, which is all about organization and getting your T's crossed and your I's dotted, and having the diligent organizational system that you need to deal with legal issues, right? If you're going to be dealing with legal issues, which there's a lot of 7th house and 8th house stuff going on, so I'm guessing you probably will be, you're going to want to have this Virgo mindset of getting all of your paperwork in order, having all of your files backed up on your computer, having everything organized in a spreadsheet, maybe have that spreadsheet backed up, right? Like Virgo anal retentive organization is what I'm feeling from you. When you do that, the asteroid, I like to call it a planet, the asteroid Sirius is right here on your rising sign this year. And Sirius is how you feel nurtured and nourished, like really, really sustained, and like you had a really good meal and you just feel so good, right? So you will feel very nourished and nurtured if you have all of your shit organized, right? And have all of your systems in order. Like that's going to feel super good to you. Really, really good. And that'll be opposite your sun sign in the 7th house. Your Mercury will be in the 7th house. Chiron is in the 7th house. But then look at this. Jupiter is in the 7th house. And anytime Jupiter is somewhere, there is some good luck and good fortune coming your way. So you're going to have to go through some stuff with partnership and legal and business contracts. But Jupiter's there going, hey, Heather, you deserve a reward. Here you go. Let me give you a little round of applause and give you some good stuff. And he's going to be there to help you with this wound healing for sure. Jupiter's going to say, hey, it's time we get rid of this, and it's time we really take this wound, heal it all the way so that you can just tell a story. Like, look, I got a scar here. Here's the story. You don't have to feel the story every time, right? That's what Jupiter with your Chiron is going to be doing. He's going to be really helping you to heal that and get all of the debris and all of the pus and all of the infection out of the wound so that the wound can heal thoroughly. And then you can just tell the story and it won't affect you so profoundly. Doesn't that feel good? Like, that feels good to me.
There's so much happening in your 7th and your 8th house.
Yeah. Lots of transformation.
Yeah, exactly. And your 8th house is where Taurus is for your solar return chart. And we were talking about Taurus before, the sign of finances and stability and security. And there will be a lot of focus on that for the next year for you. With your moon there, for example, so you will really feel like you will need that. So you will really focus there, and you have Venus there as well, and your North Node, and with your 8th house there, I feel like you will be able to do that deep work that is coming your way now, and that has to do with finances and security. And I feel like that is a perfect setup.
I really do. Like, this is like the light at the end of the tunnel. Like you said, around your birthday is when there's going to be some shifts. We talked about that, but I had not checked out your solar return chart. And this just kind of confirms all of the things that are coming. You've got Mars right at your 10th house, and you're here to do your work, to do your life purpose, and to contribute to society in the healing, nurturing, mothering way you want to show up for people. And you're going to be doing a lot of transformation, and that's the good stuff. That's the emotional transformation you need to really come kind of the lotus coming up out of the mud, right? That's how I feel this energy is.
Come on. We're fire signs. Go back to the Phoenix, right? The action. Don't be a fucking lotus. I am a damn fire bird.
I can't, because you've got an Earth rising sign this year, which is mud, and then you got Saturn and Pisces.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna be muddy and watery this year.
Gotcha. Okay. There was a method to your madness. Got it.
There was.
But your MC will still be in air, your career pointer, and with Mars there, it will bring so much vitality to what you will be doing with work. And Mars is connected in a trine to Saturn, which is about your lessons in life. And I feel like this is what's happening to you right now with work. I feel like that lesson is gonna bring fuel to your fire to help you propel yourself forward with your work. That's what it looks like to me.
Yep. And Saturn's going to jump into Pisces, and that Pisces is, again, this global healing, and it's hard work. It's creating a structure so that we can really do that deep healing on a bigger scale, on a scale of past lives, on a lineage scale, working with your kiddos on this, right? You and your husband have kiddos, and making sure that they are aware of the financial stuff you've gone through so that we don't keep this generational crap going, right?
Yeah.
Pausing that and putting boundaries and limitations and structure in place so that healing can really happen. And I really see your intuition getting very, very strong this year too. It's in your 6th house. So your Neptune is going to be like, hey, you do your meditations and you do your work every day, and you really tune into spirit every day, and you're going to get the answers you need to make this deep healing.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, lady. It's good stuff. It's just.
What do you say about that, Heather?
I'm still too in it right now.
I was going to say, it's just you're in it.
This just happened. Like, this blow is my head whirling. Like, it's great to know, like I said, that there is some relief, because, like I said, I'm not sure how much longer I can continue to just fight.
Yeah. And what I saw in your natal chart as well is that not too long ago you had Pluto square Pluto.
Yeah.
So that's another sort of deep dive into the Mariana Trench. Tough energy.
Yeah, you've been in about a 2-year
cycle. It's a lifetime thing as well.
A 2-year cycle of basically the midlife crisis energies, and you exited one, and now you're in the other of Uranus opposite Uranus. So you're you're there in the midlife crisis portion of life. You're there, and just know that, right? Just know it and work with it and be okay with it and go eat some chocolate and binge watch a show, Sometimes that's all we can do.
Mm.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'll be canceling the rest of this today and just
Yep.
Yeah.
trying to lick my wounds and regroup.
Yep.
Do that.
I think that's take care of yourself.
Yep. You need that. Is there anything else we can answer? Any specific questions or anything you have, Heather?
No, like I said, you guys have already been such a huge gift in my life. Like I can't even express how grateful I am to you and your work. And Helena, it was such an awesome pleasure to meet you and have
Likewise
you as well. Like I'm not normally such a spaz, but it's just today's was a heavy day. Like
but I can see it's
energy
intense.
was
I see your
just-
chart. Yeah.
This is astrology in real life playing out right here.
It was so bizarre. Like yesterday was literally fucking bipolar. I had one of the best interviews I have ever done go out. Like I listened to it. I made myself cry. I made myself laugh. Like it was beautiful. And it to a very large Lyme related crowd. Like this is a big
Mm.
and so in one day I had that accomplishment and my book showed up today.
Ooh,
So
wow.
That showed up yesterday.
What's it called?
The needs gap. So I just did a chapter in the book, and my chapter's around reversing autoimmune and Lyme. And so that showed up yesterday. The interview came out yesterday. And so like on this like massive like high. And then at the second part of the day, it was this looming, I'm gonna shut you down.
Yeah.
This I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was so ridiculously bipolar yesterday.
Yeah.
I just gotta hold on by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
On the solstice and everything was shifting, and you've got this Gemini Mars in your 8th house, and you've got a lot of quote unquote bipolar energy for sure. Absolutely going on. And I'm glad you recognize it. I think sometimes we just need to call it out and recognize it and say, this is what's happening. You don't need to try and change it, but I'm so glad that your book is out. How can people reach you or find you if they want to work with you or if they suspect they have Lyme? How does this work? How can they reach out to you?
TheLymeBoss.com, or you can email me at heather@TheLymeBoss.com, like super easy. And I've got some phenomenal free resources. I've got my cooking series. So I made
it's so good.
Series on real life for real cooking. You can get that as a free download on my website. So I highly suggest starting there. And then that way you kind of keep in with the know of I'm constantly putting out free material. So
awesome. And
I love that name, the Lyme Boss.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Such an Aries thing.
Yeah.
It's such an Aries thing.
Talked about the Virgo who, not Virgo. Virgo.
Yeah.
Who was very specific, right? So I just recently did that with this month. Like I just I've rebranded everything just 2 weeks ago. And then these really cool things are starting to happen because I've made myself so specific. So
you're in alignment with your specific uniqueness, and that's the Uranus opposite Uranus. You are literally reinventing yourself. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So I love it. That's the pressure though at the same time too. Well, we'll put all of your links in the show notes and everything so people can reach out to you. Thank you so much for being on the show today and
thanks, Heather.
Allowing us to make you all emotional.
I know you get off on that, Laura's.
I do.
I'm like, God, I can't give her the satisfaction of tears.
Made another one cry. Yes. Successful day.
I made her cry.
Oh my God.
I love it. Thank you so much, Heather. It's been so great.
Have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Likewise. See ya.
Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to be a part of our show or have a personal reading done with us, email us at RamGoatAstrology@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. See you next week.